Hey guys, Tyler Dowse here from Ty's Torque Talk. Today we're looking at a 2025. This is the Chevrolet Traverse Z71 package. We're going to go over everything. We're going to talk about exterior, interior, go inside, take it out for a test drive, see how it performs on the road. Let's get to it. Then we're going to start this off here. We're going to pop the hood open. Have a look at the new powertrain in this guy. So get on in there. This is the 2.5 liter turbo 4-cylinder. We're going to be 328 horsepower, 326 pound-feet of torque. The towing capability is going to be a little bit better in this guy than the old V6 that was in the old Acadias and the Traverses. So it used to be 4,000 pound tow capacity. We're up to 5,000 pound towing. A little bit better fuel economy, a little more power, better 0 to 60. In the Z71 specifically, you're going to have a heavy-duty air filter in here as well too. So if you do take it out on the trails, kick up some dust and whatnot, it's going to perform a little bit better in that. And it also has a twin clutch all-wheel drive system that's going to help send power to the wheels that have a little bit more, that have the most grip for when you are out on the trails or even on like snowy, icy roads and whatnot, just to help out with that. But anyways, let's get to the exterior here on the Z71. If you come on over this side, one little thing that's really neat that they do this on the Traverses and the Acadias is they got the block heater exposed on the outside of the vehicle, which is it's a really neat idea, especially us up here in Canada that need block heaters, just to have it kind of right there easily accessible rather than having to dig around in your engine bay trying to find the cord for it. But it's a little bit of an eyesore in my opinion. It looks like a mole on your face really in my opinion, but I wish they had some sort of cover for it. At least it's a black plug-in on a black bumper, so it hides it a little bit. But anyways, working our way all around here. Have a look at the hood. We got nice lines on here, nice white paint job here. And as we're working on them down, I like the white paint mixed with all the black accenting that you're gonna get on like the RS trim or on the Z71 here. All black detailing. You're gonna have your red recovery hooks exclusive for the Z71. You're also gonna have metal skid plates on the bottom for when you're doing a little bit of that off-roading. But I love the way the grill looks on these guys. You got the blacked out bow tie, blacked out grill, and then we got our forward-facing camera. This does come with our 360 camera group. Loving the new headlights as well too. So we got our daytime running LEDs up top here. We got our headlights, high beams right down below. No fog lights on the Traverses just because the headlights and high beams are mounted a little bit lower. You don't have the need for the fog lights. Then you got air curtain here, pushing some air over the tires. It is functional as well too, but come on around. We're rocking 18-inch aluminum rims here. This is gonna be on Goodyear Wrangler tires as well too for that Z71 off-road package. And we're gonna have the cheaper black plastic. I'm okay with that because it is a Z71. If it was a high trim level like the Premier, or I guess they don't have the Premier anymore, the High Country or the RS, I'd hate it. But on that, because rock's gonna be flying up into it, you're gonna get chips on it and everything like that. Blacked out mirror caps, I'm liking that. It's gloss black, not glass plastic. And then we also, of course, got the camera on the bottom there for the 360 pack. And then we have our blind spot monitors right over there. Proximity key fob, stick your hand on the door handle, unlocks the door with a key fob in your pocket. You can also click the button there to lock the car door. With GM, you get that on all 4 doors. I can click the button on the back doors. It's not only the driver's side, which is really nice. Then the Z71 also at the RS trim, you're gonna get blacked out roof rails up top there. And I like that they didn't do any like say chrome or anything, that they just kept it all body color or black, gloss black accenting. It really sharpens it up. The trim around the windows, the black down here at the bottom, this is the kind of plastic there. So again, if you're off-roading, kicking up rocks into it, you're not going to be scratching up paint, causing areas that it's going to rust or anything like that. But come on back over here. I like how they connected this black portion of the window. It almost makes it look like it has that floating roof design. I think that looks really sharp. One of my favorite parts of the vehicle is new rear lights. I think they look really, really sharp. GM nailed it with these backlights. Let me know if you like the Acadia, the exterior of the Acadia or the Traverse better. I like the back end of the Traverse better than the Acadia. I like the front end of the Acadia better than the Traverse. That's my opinion. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. But anyways, got the black bow tie badge here on the back, of course, as well too. We're gonna have blacked out badging too. So blacked out Traverse, all-wheel drive, I wish they black out the Z71 as opposed to keeping it in red and chrome, or even maybe like a red Z with a black 7-in-1. I think that'd be kind of cool. But anyways, black, white accenting, all looks good. You got your tow package down here just behind that little panel there. But then you're gonna have your your rear park sensors, backup camera, and then this one, it does come optional with the rear view mirror camera. This one just doesn't have it included in this exact spec. But then one thing that's new for the 2024, this new body style, is gonna be the quad tipped exhaust pipes. That they look just like the ones that they actually put on the Corvette, so it really sporties it up, give it that nice aggressive look. But anyways, that's about enough for the exterior. Let's pop open this back hatch, have a look at their cargo room in this new Traverse. Okay, right before we pop this open and look at our storage capacity, if you are enjoying the video so far, hit that like and subscribe button on down below. Every little bit helps. Also, big shout out to Capital Chevrolet for hooking us up with this Traverse today to shoot this video. Great group of people. If you're in the area and need a new ride, reach out to them down below. But anyways, let's talk about key fob here first. So key fob, nice, kind of just plain Jane, simple. It's slim, I like it. You just got your double click button there for your remote starter, double click there for the pop open the back hatch. Your blacked out Chevy bow tie on the back end, but I like that it's nice and thin and small. It's not a big bulky key fob. But anyways, to get in the back hatch here, you can double click that button I just showed you. You have the button on the back of the tailgate here. This trim doesn't have, it's not spec'd out with all these features, but they have a new feature where if you just have the key fob in your pocket and you're standing behind it for a couple seconds or whatever, it'll open it up. So if your arms are full of stuff and you're, it's slippery outside, you don't even want to kick your leg, you don't even have to, it'll lift up. Or you also have the option to do the leg swing as well too, but we're gonna do the old fashioned way today and just do the click button on the back there. But, so power lift gate on up. Here's that charge cord for that block heater. As you get a nice big storage cubby in down here. I like that they just keep this just wide open. Normally in vehicles, it's all segregated and like you can't fit, say, larger items. This is just wide open, tons of storage. That's the way I like it. And then anyways, you get lots of storage in behind this third row. More than, I think, most other mid-size SUV third rows out there. Anyways, to flip these guys down, you gotta pull the lever. In the RS, well, it is optional, I believe, in this trim to have the power seats there, but in the RS model, of course, in the high country, you're gonna get power seats to fold those down or back up. But anyways, so with the second row down, third row up, you're gonna have 57 cubic feet of storage capacity. With the third row and second row folded down like it is on the left side here, you're gonna have 97.6 cubic feet of storage capacity. That's 0.1 more than the Acadia, so this puts it in the class leading area here. But then it's super functional, like I mentioned, that big storage cubby there. You have all these fastening tether points here on the sides. For your third row seating passengers, you have your 2 cup holders there and then a USB-C as well too, but we'll have a closer look at that third row when we actually get in back there. That's about enough for the trunk area. Let's go hop up in the front seat now, see what the new Traverse is packing for us. Okay, time to talk about the interior. We're gonna start off on the passenger hand side here. Have a quick look at the door. So, some people probably love it, some people probably hate it. I happen to be one of the people, I'm not a huge fan of the red. I wish it was like carbon fiber or something. It's too bright. I'm not a big fan of red. I mean, I like red leather seats and stuff like that in sports cars. I'm just not a huge fan of that. But anyways, all the materials around it are really nice. You got the leather wrap up on that upper half there where your arm's sitting. It's all nice, soft, squishy materials that are really comfortable. And then you got a nice big door bin down there at the bottom, super wide. It's just like the Acadia. You can fit nice, wide, big bottles inside of it. But the bottom half is gonna be all the cheaper black plastics, which of course I know it's gonna have, and I'm completely fine with. But come on, work your way inside here. Have a look. We'll start off at the seats. Actually, sill plate at the bottom, Chevrolet chrome plate there, and then coming up to the seats. The passenger seat is going to be a manual seat. You're going to have power driver, manual passenger. But the seat itself is great. You're going to have that Z71 stitched into the top there. Then you're going to have like red and white trim, or stitching. Sorry, I couldn't think of the word there. In there for that specific on the Z71 package. And then you're going to have the perforated leather seats, and they're very comfortable, good bolstering. And they're softer than the previous generation, actually. The previous generation, the seats were quite firm, I noticed. These ones, they soften them up, and they feel fantastic. And we're going to start on over here, though. So double cup holders, right behind the center console. Center console, nice soft leather wrapped, very comfortable, good width as well too. You're not fighting with your passenger. And then inside here you can fit 18 baseballs. So it's a nice deep center console. The one or two problems I have with it is if you need to get into anything down here, every single time you're going to have to take this tray out. You can't get around it. It's just not a big enough opening there. And also, too, it's nice you have lights in there, but the one thing it is missing is a USB-C or USB-A or a 12-volt, some sort of charging outlet. I like having charging outlets inside the center console as opposed to like around the dash, just because it's, after a while, like, I mean, if you get a bunch of cords out, it just looks messy and sloppy. I like having everything tucked away, neat and clean looking. Anyways, working our way on over here, we have a lot of piano black, which looks really good when it's brand new, but it's going to get covered in fingerprints and dust as time goes on, unless you always perfectly click the little chrome plated button there. Then you have a nice little cubby in here for some goodies. 2 more cup holders wrapped up in chrome, and then you got your wireless phone charging in here. This is all kind of laced in like a nice rubber as well too, so things aren't going to slide around as much if you have junk down there. Then you're going to have your 12-volt plug, USB-C and USB-A over there as well. And then your climate control. So this is going to be a 3-zone climate control. And then you're going to have about 3/4 of your climate control buttons right down here. And then you're going to have more up on the screen. I really wish that they would have, like, say, like your heated seats as a manual button. And I like manual buttons. I don't like everything being on the screen, especially for climate control, because you're always fiddling with it. But most of it is down here, so I can't hit it too hard. But anyways, you got heated seats, no cooled seats in this Z71 here. But then you get this fantastic infotainment screen. This is going to be 17 inches of infotainment real estate. So it's going to be 1 more inch than the Acadia, actually, which is down at the 16 inches, and it's going to be that vertical display. I like the horizontal. I like that you have this 11-inch driver display screen, and that kind of all just blends in together and looks really, really sharp. And I like the gloss black around it. I think they did a very, very, very good job with this infotainment screen here. But anyways, you got a billion different settings in here. I'm not going to go through every single one, just a couple of the hot points. I like this maintenance gauge and trip page because you can actually view your Traverse and check out like the tire pressure. You can click on all the areas, your brake pad life, your oil life, your engine air filter, or if you just want it all displayed on one screen, you can click maintenance, you get it all up there, easy to see. Or you can go down to gauges, have a look at your fluid temperatures, battery voltage, oil pressure, trip information and whatnot. Awesome page. And then number 2 that I really, really like is our trailering page on here that GM does. So you have your light test, so it's all done for you, really makes it super simple. And then you have a checklist. So you can go through this 10-step checklist here when you're hooking up your trailer just to make sure you're not missing anything. You can go right through it and actually do all your checks. Anyways, we'll go on back. And then this has Google built in, so you have Google Assistant, and you're also going to have Google Maps built in. That's awesome because this is going to update in real time. So if they get new neighborhoods and whatnot, that's going to update. You don't have to go back to a GM dealership and pay for an update like you used to. And then that's about it for the screen. I'm going to touch on, oh, actually, one more thing, our backup camera. So we got our 360 cam. It's blacked out on the right-hand side just because we have the passenger door open, but clear, crisp, HD cameras in there. You got the trajectory mapping. It looks amazing. And I like over here on the side how they have the words as opposed to just like little animations and whatnot for the buttons to flick through all of your different camera options. I think it's really very well done, easily laid out, super simple to use. Another thing I wish that they would do, so you got this nice big volume dial up here at the top. I wish it was a button. You can't click it to say like just mute it or something. Like you actually have to like flick it there, maybe go in there, or just turn it down all the way to mute it. I don't know actually, but you can't click it. I do know that. You got a little power button. Oh, there we go. If you hit the power button up top there, then it'll mute it. Okay, I take that back. That's a nice slick system. Good job, GM. But anyways, and then the rest of the dash here, it's gonna be, it's not like premium leather. It's just kind of like a nice soft touch plastic, I think, or something. But it looks nice. You got the white pipe or white stitching there. No heads-up display in this guy. So there's actually no heads-up displays in the Traverses. You do only get heads-up display in the Acadia. I'm not sure why they did that. It would have been awesome to have it in the Traverse, but it's not the end of the world because they have so much other stuff. You got a nicely damp super wide glove box. Yeah, more of that red stuff that you have on the door. Again, I'm not a huge fan, but when you're inside of the vehicle and it's a bit dimmer in here, it's not as noticeable. It looks really dark. It doesn't look like the bright super red that we saw straight in the sunlight. They got a bunch of storage down here on the bottom. No charging in here. In the Acadia, you had a little 12-volt plug there, not in the Traverse. But you had tons of room for wife's purse or whatever, who knows. One thing I did, well, in fact, I forgot to mention about the Z71 trim when we were talking about the exterior, was it actually also has a 1.5-inch lift over the normal height of the typical Traverse trims for that off-roading package. But anyways, that's about it. Oh, and one more thing that I wish this guy had, it is optional in the Traverse. It just doesn't have it in this particular package. No panoramic sunroof, which I would opt for that personally. That's a deal breaker for Ty's Torque Talk. But anyways, come on over here in the driver's seat. So you can have a look at what I'm looking at here behind the steering wheel of this new Traverse. All right, here we are on the driver hand side. So touch on the door really quick. You got a button down there for the rear hatch there to click. No memory seating on this trim level Traverse. You'll get that in like the RS and in the High Country, not on this Z71. Oh, actually, yeah, power seating here, Chevy sill plate. But come on inside here. I want to have you show you here behind the wheel now. See what I'm looking at. So you get a nice, very plush leather wrap steering wheel. You got the nice white cross stitching as well too. It looks really good and it feels great to hold on to. And then you're gonna be looking at that super clear and crisp 11-inch driver display screen. But anyway, so with this button here, you can switch up the screens. So you can go just to your digital speedometer there. You can do get the RPM gauge up on there, your audio information, the date and time. And then my favorite page, you get your Google Maps up on your driver display screen. So you don't have to take your eyes too far off the road to look at the maps there. But super clear, crisp animations. Everything looks really, really good on there. Actually, while we're talking about animations, right before I forget, over here on the left-hand side left of the steering wheel, you got the mode select for your drive modes here. And then on your main infotainment, you're gonna have your normal, sport, off-road, terrain, tow and haul mode. And then inside of here, with your Z71 package, you're actually also gonna be able to do hill descent control as well too, to help you monitor your speed when going down super steep hills and whatnot on the trails. Anyways, back to the steering wheel and whatnot. Your right-hand side here is going to be all mainly like controls for your driver display screen, and then also like media controls. You got your heated steering wheel there, and then you got your voice activation button, which if you hold that down, you're going to activate Google Assistant or Siri if you have Apple CarPlay plugged in. And then your left-hand side is going to be all your cruise control options. So this also does come with adaptive cruise control. So if we click this guy one more time, you're going to get your adaptive cruise control page up on here. So that's going to, you can adjust there for the distance on the Apple, on the you know what I'm talking about, the adaptive cruise control. Sorry, I couldn't think of it there again. And then on the back of the steering wheels, you have paddle shifters to go up and down that 8-speed automatic transmission. And then here, let me just see if I can see it. Right here, you have buttons for the volume on the backhand side of the steering wheel there, so you don't have to take your steering wheel off and reach out here for your volume knob. You can just click it on the backhand side. But anyways, left of that steering wheel here, these buttons, you got your electronic parking brake. There's that mode select button to go in between all the different modes, like sport, tow haul, all that stuff. All-wheel drive button here. So right now, as you can see, we are in two-wheel drive. So you can actually click that button and transfer on over into all-wheel drive. Traverse and Acadia are actually, I think the Terrain and whatnot as well too, are the only ones, like SUVs, where you can actually switch from all-wheel drive to two-wheel drive. So if you're in Canada like me, we're coming up on spring, summertime right now, I get to switch it to two-wheel drive and I'm gonna get a little bit better fuel economy. We're going back to all-wheel drive instead of snowing out. Then you have your pesky engine on and off switch, and then your interior lighting dial there. But that about wraps up the driver's seat here for the Traverse. Let's go hop in the back, see how comfortable those rear seating passengers are going to be. All right, here we are in the back seat of the Traverse. I have a quick peek at the doors. So we're going to lose that red trim there on the door, which I'm not mad about because I wasn't a huge fan of it. I'd rather cheap black plastic personally. But anyways, then we got nice leather here on the sides, nice and comfortable, good slot there if you can put a phone or something like that in, and a decent sized door bin for a rear door. You're also gonna get tinted windows as well too here in the back. But come on in now, let's have a look at the back seat of the Traverse. So lots of room back here. When it comes to seating position, I have this front seat set up exactly where I would be, and I'm 6 feet tall. Look at the boatload of leg room that I have. Good thigh support here. The seat, you can swing it forward, you can recline it, all that, slide it around. So if you do have somebody in the third row there, oh, and also I forgot to mention, lots of headroom as well too. But if you have a tall person in that third row, you can slide this seat all the way forward where I'm still not even touching, and then he's gonna have a decent amount of leg room as well too, which we'll show you in a second here. Right before we do, captain's chairs. I like captain's chairs. I'm not a huge fan of bench seats when it comes to third row SUVs, so I like this as kind of like a standardized thing here in the Traverses. You also get your armrests for the middle row, and I like that they keep this area wide open. Some other SUVs, like say the Highlander, for example, will have extra cup holders that like flip up here or something like that. You can utilize these ones, you know, you don't need 20 drinks back here, but I like that they keep it wide open. It's a nice wide walking path for people to go back into that third row. Then coming in here, we got the climate control settings. So no heated seats in this one. You're gonna need to go RS or high country for the heated seats, but you're gonna have a couple of USB-Cs, and then you're gonna have your 3-volt wall outlet, home wall outlet plug, and then you got some storage compartments right down there. But I want to show you now how you hop into this third row and how much room it actually has in this Traverse. So right up on the shoulder of this seat, you pull this one little latch, slides the seat on forward there, makes it nice and easy to climb on back. So this is with this seat pushed all the way forward. It's reclined a little bit, I think, but I got a good amount of leg room, and I can extend my legs actually underneath the seat, and then I got some thigh support. Normally in third row SUVs, your legs are bunched up like that, and it's really uncomfortable, especially for long car rides. And here, I can stretch my legs out. I could put one all the way over there. I can do a long car ride back here, and I'd be comfortable. Also, headroom, extremely good. For a third row SUV, there's only like one or two, maybe 2 or 3 SUVs out there where I'm not bashing my head and rubbing around on the ceiling of the vehicle. But anyways, that's about enough. Oh, all right, I guess I already touched on these earlier, but you got cup holders and the USB-C port there. But anyways, that's about it for the third row. Oh, one more thing. You also have dedicated vents actually as well for the third row, not just the second row, which is awesome. But anyways, enough about the back seat. Let's get behind the steering wheel, take this guy out on the road, see how it performs. Alrighty, so here we are in the Chevrolet Traverse, going for a drive, seeing how it feels. It's pretty nice. So in the Z71 trim, I was expecting it to be a little bit noisier and whatnot. I just reviewed actually a GMC Acadia Denali, which is already out. So if you want to check out that vehicle, have a look at my page there, because that was an awesome vehicle. But that one had a lot of like acoustic glass, you know, dual pane windows, blah blah blah, and it was dead quiet inside. It doesn't have the dual pane windows and all that stuff, but it's still very quiet, shockingly, especially with like Goodyear Wrangler tires. But anyways, brake boost or brake torque it. We're gonna do a quick 0 to 60. Here we go. And 60. 0 to 100 because I'm back in Canada now. But yeah, like when it comes to this new engine option, you know what, I'm neutral about it. Like the thing is, I love naturally aspirated vehicles. Like I miss the old like naturally aspirated V6 that they had in the Traverses and in the Acadias before. But honestly, like this guy, like I mentioned before, it is, you know, more fuel efficient. It does have more power, better towing, yada yada yada. But you know, I'm not a big fan of turbo leg, and then like the Acadia and these Traverses with it sharing the same engine option, they have that bit of turbo leg. And it takes a minute, that low end speed, like right when you're right from 0, it takes a second. Even that doing that little bit of brake boost, it kind of takes a second even for that turbo to kind of fully spool up and give you that full amount of power there. But you know, when it does hit, it's good. It's a good amount of power, and realistically, it's as much, and you know, more than you'll even really need. But it just, I love extra juice in vehicles. You know, like if you say go drive something similar to this, like say for example, like a Ford Explorer ST, or you know, the Platinum trim and whatnot, those guys are up in like the 400 horsepower area, and when you hammer down on the gas, it really kind of pins you to the seat, and the turbos spool up so quickly. I notice they have a little bit less lag time, but all in all, like I mean, like this thing, it still has good acceleration. Like I said, it's more than you're gonna need. I'd be happy with it if I bought one of these vehicles. I'd be more than happy with it, but that's just kind of my 2 cents. There just is more powerful out there, is kind of what I'm trying to say. But anyhow, other than that, the actual drive itself, when you even get up to higher speeds and stuff, when you're going up to 100, 120 kilometers an hour, for you Americans, like 60, 70-ish miles per hour there, you don't get as much wheel noise as I was expecting you to in the Z71 trim. I was expecting it to be a bit noisier, that wheel noise, wind noise and whatnot. It's really, it's quiet. It doesn't feel like it has any sort of off-roading edge when you're cruising around in this thing. The suspension feels great. It's nice and kind of loose, and you just kind of flow and bounce along. It's great. And then obviously the tech in here is fantastic. And on another feature I always forget to mention about these GM vehicles in these videos, because I'm never actually like backing up close to things and whatnot, but if you're, you know, pulling forward towards something or reversing and you're getting close to an object or a wall or another car, the seat vibrates as well too. I love that. You can actually you can change it in the settings to do like a vibration, or you can cancel out the vibration. You get like a chime. I like the vibration. It's really nice. It's different. You know, not really many other automotive manufacturers do that. It's unique about them. So I'm a big fan of that. But though it's loaded with tech in here, the only feature that, for me personally, that I really, really wish this had, there's two actually features I really, really wish it did have, was one, a heads-up display, and two, panoramic sunroof. Now you can't get the heads-up display unfortunately in the Traverses, but it is optional in the for the panoramic sunroof. So, but all in all, I really like this new Traverse. I think GM did a great job redesigning this whole thing. It looks so great, and it's extremely comfortable, and it drives fantastic. So you get a thumbs up on Ty's Torque Talk. But anyways, I'll see you guys back outside in just a minute. All right, guys, that has been the 2025 Chevrolet Traverse, the Z71. Let me know your thoughts on this Z71 trim and your thoughts on the new body style here of the Chevy Traverse. Do you like it more than its competitors out there? The Ford Explorer, Grand Highlander, all the others that I can't think of right off the top of my head right now. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you liked the video, hit that like and subscribe as well too. If you are a subscriber, thank you for supporting the channel. Really love to have you part of the family here. But anyways, that's enough for today. We'll see you on the next one.